Hello, everyone. I want to say hello to Tanys of
Hello.
Twillow Lifestyle, host of the Twillow Talk Live, for this Laugh and Learn about Starseeds Part 2. If you missed
Hello.
Part 1, it is linked below. So, and best chatters are here. Tanys, meet the best chatters. Best chatters, meet Tanys. And know that I appreciate you.
Thank you.
And Tanys, you have been really busy. You have been posting these starseed characteristics videos.
I have.
And I want to know how many people in the chat have watched them, because I have. They're awesome.
Thank you.
And they're short, they're not going to take too much brain power. Well, I don't know if they may take brain power, but that's okay.
Well, and the whole thing with those is to just feel into it as I'm talking about it and see if your spidey senses tingle. And that's part of how you can figure out if you are one, right?
Yes. So, Tanys, could you do a brief introduction? So, because last time we were together, I did not allow you to introduce yourself, so I'm fixing that.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Who are you?
So I'm Tanys Coughlan. I am owner and founder of Twillow Lifestyle Community, Twillow Lifestyle Academy. I am an energy healer of various modalities, which I just added one this weekend, which is awesome.
Ooh, love that.
So that'll be fun. I am also a galactic ambassador. I am a galactic ambassador in the astral as well as in the physical with the Alliance for Extraterrestrial Diplomatic Contact. I'm on their board and I do production for them as well as a podcast for them, which is Bridge to the Galaxy. And so we're just starting that up. So there is a brand new one on there. So take a look at that. And what else do I do? So I am also a Celtic Shamanic High Priestess. Do crystal stuff. I do stuff.
You do stuff, and so that's probably a really easy way to say it. You do a whole bunch of stuff, and I would imagine that you're probably like in the Matrix, where if you don't know how to do it, you can like phone into your guides and say, I need to know how to do this, and you're like, suddenly it's like, okay, let's go.
Yeah, I joke in my sessions. Actually, I call them signature sessions because I never know what's going to come up or what I'm going to be asked to do, and then they just give me. I always joke I just do what I'm told. So I start the session and they're like, okay, you need to do a curse removal. Okay, you need to cut cords. You need to do this. Do this etheric surgery. And they show me how to do it. And
There you go. So let's say hi to a few people because I have gathered some questions from the best chatters.
Awesome.
And because the last time we were together, there was so much information that it was like, okay, let's do part 2. So Jackie is here. Oh, go ahead.
I also want to say that, when I'm on these things, I'm often channeling. And so please excuse me if I say the same things in different ways or whatever, because I don't really always remember what I've said on the previous ones.
Oh, that makes complete and total sense. So I see Jackie, Crystal Moon is here. Medium Betsy Palmer. I've been hearing about Starseeds for a year, but something shifted for me bigly during the first episode.
Awesome.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Heather Indigo Jaguar Intuitive Arts is here. Pia's Life. Hello. And just coming through.
Work lurking. She's work lurking.
Who's work lurking? Oh, work lurking. Yeah, Pia. Okay, that's good. I'm glad you're here. Jonathan Daly is here. Popping in, is taking his son to orientation to the new school. And I got Jonathan's question. And Tom, Early Ritual, thought he was late, but it's all in divine timing, dude.
Everything is divine timing today.
Yes. It's perfect. And let's see. What, Gerald? Miss all 15 of your lives today? I only have 3. I'm only hosting 3. You
have a busy day.
I have a day that makes me extremely happy.
I have 2 today because I have Twillow.
Yes.
Twillow Talk at 5. So.
Yes. And Jane the Seeker is here.
Hey.
And I've never felt like Earth was my home. I've always felt out of place. Am I just weird, or am I a starseed? Just pondering out loud. It's probably both.
It might be both.
It could be. It could be.
But I would say probably a starseed too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And okay, just getting through. Just catching up. Seeing. Okay, now Fogo Pogo is here. Hello.
Hey.
Good to see you. And everybody, please make sure you like and subscribe to Tanys. Link is below. And I'm just okay. Blah 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 blah. Great chat countdown. Okay, Fox with the book is here.
Hey.
And when I asked if everybody's ready, Tom said no, and he wants to know if there will be a test afterwards.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be a surprise if we told you. Beth Esposi Rising.
Hey.
Frosty's Den. I like saying hello to so many people here. Hershey is here.
Hey,
Good
Hershey.
to see you. Jackie Jacaranda.
Jackie.
Cheyenne Shining, yes. Kristen. Deanne, Blue Crescent Tarot. And Maruta is here. Hello. Good to see you.
Maruta. Nice to see you.
Yeah.
Marla.
Oh. If you missed that one, Sarah was highly disappointed in you, and we'll mark this on your permanent record. Wow.
So should we maybe do the quiz on part 1? Except for one problem.
I like the way you think. Okay.
I don't remember what we said in part 1.
I'm not sure either. So
I guess no.
They take brain power for me. Yeah, it's all good. Okay, just getting caught up, seeing lots of people. Thank you. I've probably missed some people, so my apologies. Pamela Batchelor is here. Hello, Pamela.
Hello.
And Pierrette is here. Hello. There you go. Thank you, Jackie. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks, Jackie.
And
we have Marilla as well.
Yes. God, I love it. This is great. Thank you.
Sharon.
Oh my, y'all are great. Okay, so see, this is where I'm like going, whoa, my gosh. Okay, I might have to go. Everybody's great. Thank you, Marilla. There's Marilla, and do all the YouTubey things. And so, okay, and okay, blah blah blah. Hypnicity is here.
Hi,
Sharon. Lots of people. There are 32 people here who are wanting. So everybody take a breath, because as some of you know, Sharon, hi Sharon. And as some of you know, my videos now are sponsored by a word of the day. So we have today's word. So here we go. Today's video is brought to you by the word Starseed. Everyone say it with me. Starseed. Starseed. An individual whose soul actually originates from another star system or another planet. It would be awesome if all the Starseeds liked, shared, and subscribed to our channels. Starseed.
Beautiful.
and yeah, everybody's saying it with me, so that's good. And you were referenced. You were my resource for that one. So your videos.
Awesome.
So
Thank you.
Good. So, all right. Bye, Beth. So, all right.
Thanks for dropping in.
Yes. Okay. So I thought we could just go ahead and just start the questions, if that's okay.
Sure. Yeah.
So, because one of the things that you talked about last time was the Federation.
Yeah. Galactic Federation of
The
Planets.
Galactic Federation. And so, Medium Betsy Palmer asked, how do we volunteer for the Federation?
Just ask them.
Okay.
Yeah, just ask. So go into meditation and ask them.
All right. And is there a way to volunteer for the On This Plane Federation?
For the Alliance?
Yes,
Yes.
for the Alliance.
Yes. The Alliance, just reach out to me and I can hook you up. We have all sorts of activities that we're involved in. So just reach out to me and we can get you hooked up with the volunteer form and all that stuff. We are doing what are we doing? The podcast, like I said. We also are doing a convention, or it's an online convention. There's another word for it, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Summit sort of thing. I believe it's November. So yeah, I'll be posting stuff about that as well. So you can check that out. But we're looking for volunteers for that. We look for volunteers for admin stuff. And I'm head of production. So I do, podcasts and whatever else needs to be done in terms of production. So Canva is my best friend.
Canva
one of them.
Is one of them. Isn't it? Yeah. Canva's quite good.
Yeah.
All right. I am highlighting people's questions as they come up with them. So, okay. And so this relates to how the representatives look to us. And Totoro, I do not know who that is. I am terribly square instead of giant space warriors. So, and this is Betsy's.
So the Galactic Federation is combined. It's a combination of, I would say, probably thousands of different types of beings. Some look very humanoid. Some really do not. And so there's everything in between. So they're not all going to look cute and cuddly. No.
Right.
But, there are some that are kind of cute and cuddly. But just because I think the biggest part of this that they would want me to bring forward is just because they aren't what we would expect them to look like does not mean they're not here to help us and support us. And so when I had the praying mantis beings in my backyard, that was their biggest message. I think I told that story last time.
You did.
But so when they came in, that was their biggest message, was please tell everybody, even, despite the fact that we're insectoid looking, we are here to help you. We're here to, so majority. But, they're all going to be, the other thing to keep in mind, they're kind of like humans, right? We got a whole span of people in terms of personalities. They are primarily higher vibration beings. And so there is a lot less of the denser energy within them. But there are ones that have their own agendas, which may clash with ours. And so that's sure. Part of what happens. But we do need to know that they're higher vibration. Most of the other beings are ahead of us in our progression. We're pretty new in the overall picture.
Yeah.
So
I would also expect that appearances are altered slightly so that we don't get the bejeebers scared out of us.
Correct.
So there's a sense of there's something that would draw us to, and we can be surprised, but I would think we're also not going to want to be frightened.
Correct. Yeah. And so they can adjust. And I think what I would say to that is the higher vibrational ones can change their appearance more. They have more shapeshifter qualities. The lower vibrational ones don't have as much an ability to change what they look like. And there's also the fact that they, we're proud of what we look like as humans, right? Just as they would be. And
Sure.
so there's some of that too. But there are ones like the Procyon, which are from like super high dimension, that are just light to us. So if they come down and we want to see them other than light, they would have to form some kind of a form for us to see.
Sure.
So
Sure.
mm-hmm.
We've had a few more people come in.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Chile, the Leo, and then
Hey.
Michelle Marie, Astrological Tarot.
Hey.
And if you are looking for more detailed information, Michelle Marie, astrologicaltarot.com is the place to go. She can look specifically, this is not a paid endorsement at all. So,
Nope.
but this is where you're going to, she can help to identify a potential. Yeah. So for that, especially in your chart.
Yeah,
So.
Michelle is wonderful about being able to pinpoint which type of starseed you are. By doing a starseed reading with Michelle, you'll be able to find that information out.
Excellent.
So, yeah. So check that out. Astrological Tarot, please.
Am I going too quickly?
Nope.
Okay. Another question is were the she starseeds?
Okay. So I would say that we all have some starseed stuff. They are magical beings, which is our understanding. And so they are what I would consider an elemental. I feel that, energy is not created nor destroyed. So there is an awful lot of us that are starseed or have starseed in our spiritual DNA. And so I would say that they would have some, but that's not the framework or the history that I work with when it comes to elementals. Sure. For me, the elementals come from Lilith and Adam coming down before humans were created. They came down and created elementals, all the elemental beings. And so for me, that's the framework I work from. But having said that, do they have Stardust energy? Probably. Yeah. That would be my answer.
Okay. Thank you. Is there some kind of unique link between starseeds and the Welsh?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Betsy asked that question, and I was curious about why. And I know that in that area, there is a lot of magical and elemental lore places. So what were you going to say?
Oh, no, I was just agreeing that it's a very magical place. Yeah. And then I got sidetracked reading.
Michelle Marie said, Tanys, Gerald, and I are all more than one starseed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
When
we look at our charts, we're definitely more.
Yeah. And Medium Betsy Palmer said, because my favorite word, Herith, is Welsh.
Okay.
And Heather said, that is interesting. We're supposed to be from the heavens. Okay. That makes sense. So.
Yeah. Well, and I think, that would be where that soul DNA energy would come from, in terms of that. So I'm not saying, that's why I say that I think there is a connection there. I'm just not with the wealth. I mean, with the Welsh, but with the she.
Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And by the way, everybody, Deanne says hello. She is work lurking. So, So, okay. How can we know if we have a starseed mentor? Can everyone have a mentor?
I would say yes, we likely do. In order to know, I would say going into a meditation to meet your guides is one of the best ways. I do a channeling class that we go to the Ascended Masters dimension, and if you have starseed then the meditation where we go and meet your monad, you would probably have a starseed being there. But through my channeling class, we go to all the different dimensions and we meet the guides that are there for us. So you would likely meet them that way. But going into one and just, asking them to come and be with you and sit with you wherever your happy place is, wherever your sanctuary, your astrological safe space, or astral safe space, then that would be sufficient. They'll come if you ask. You just have to ask them.
Well, okay. So here, do you have to be a starseed to get a mentor?
You can have them come in as guides, right?
Okay.
They don't have to be like a mentor. But I was sort of using mentor and guide somewhat interchangeably. So you just have to ask to work with them and they'll come and work with you. You don't have to be a starseed. But I'll tell you, probably, 98% of the people on this watching right now are, because that's how it works. So
Maruta said there is a traditional woven belt in the Latvian district of Levarde that is said to contain the story of how our people arrived to Earth from space. Ooh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Beautiful.
Okay. I feel like I'm going very quickly. So if I am, I'm
okay. I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Okay. How do we meet with our starseed team? You sort of referenced this.
Yeah. So go into meditation, ask them to come into your space, whether it's the space in the astral or into your dream time if you're a dreamer, or or ask them to come into your magic circle, something, create a safe space for them, and then ask them to come and see you. And just do it regularly and they'll show up. I mean, our galactic guides are around all the time. The galactic beings will actually give signs and symbols that they're here. There's lots of people that are doing work with that. They'll send out a message, with the radio signals and whatnot, and they'll get responses. The gentleman I had on my show, Kevin Briggs, for the Bridge to the Galaxy, he's had numerous interactions with them where he'll ask them to give them a sign and he'll see lights flash on and off. And so, they're there. You just have to ask. We just have to allow ourselves to be tuned in to that energy.
Yes. And I would also, just like with divine timing, and I'm just say it. We may put something out when we're older and it show up when we're younger. And so time is not linear.
Yeah.
So,
there really is no time and space, right?
Yeah.
It's a human concept. Time is.
Yes. Being needy here. Jane, I have a couple of questions. All right. So is it this one, Jane, that you never felt? Am I a starseed? I think we
sort of talked about that. I would say likely yes. If you have not felt that it was home, then yes. And so a little thing that happened for me, and I don't think I mentioned this last time because I think I did it in between. So big indication, even if I didn't already know, I would be wondering. I went to do a virtual reality thing, and I went and I did like it was multiple places that you could choose to go into different environments. And in those environments, it was different. Like there was like a jungle, there was like underwater, and there was a space one. And so I'd gone to a few already, and then I chose to go into the space one. So I'm in the virtual reality gear, and I go into the space one, and I started to cry.
Oh, okay.
I just cried. I was like, so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And I just cried. And so, things like that, you'll get little hints when you feel really drawn that way. And that usually is an indication, yes.
Jane, I did get your question. And Jane said, I'm a Pisces, so I've been drawn to Neptune. honestly, I think I'm from a different galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense. So, okay. Um, this is Jonathan asked this question. How do we know what type of star seed you are? And if they all sound like you, how do you figure out your star or your star origin when you're a star traveler and have had lives on each star? We mentioned this. One of the best ways to do it is Michelle Marie Astrological Tarot does an amazing job with readings to help identify that.
Yeah.
So
And I think you're asking about the origin. So the origin, when I talked about the monad, that is the origin. So for me, my monad, when I went to see my monad in the channeling stuff that I've done, I had a Pleiadian and an angelic. And so I'm a hybrid of those two beings, and that's how I found. So if you ask the guides to meet your monad, that will bring your star origins forward for you.
okay. And again, I have to remind all of the best chatters. You're asking great questions. I'm doing my best at keeping up with them. Are the Hadarians an authentic race of star beings? They came from the planet Hadar in the Beta Centauri system. And that's from Heather, Indigo Jaguar, Intuitive Arts.
Yes, I would say yes, that would be. But what I'm getting right now, actually, is that they may be a mixture of other races as well. So they're showing me, this is always interesting. They're showing me that scene in, was it Empire Strikes Back? One of the Star Wars scenes, the bar with all the different.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That usually shows me that there's like a whole bunch of different ones that make up that that race.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
I think that it's kind of like saying we're Earthlings, but there's all sorts of different beings here on Earth.
Sure.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it is. There may be some that are sort of known as Hadarians. So I would say yes to that overall.
It's sort of like Hadarian is the equal to human because there's so many different types of humans.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I don't know.
Well, I think it's a little bit more diverse than what we are as human. Like we all still have the same body parts.
Yeah.
I think that perhaps there might be a little bit more diversity in body shape, composition, and that sort of thing with the Hadarians. But I haven't actually worked with them very much, so that would be what I would say. They're just showing me that scene, which usually indicates to me that it's a variety of beings.
Nancy Crohn's intuition is here, and they're under a tornado warning, so go into the basement. Nancy was just with me this morning, so it was beautiful. So
sending you tons of love, Nancy.
Yes,
lots of love for safety.
And Heather said Starseed websites claim the Haldarians were a peaceful race, but were attacked by a warring race, and they left their planet and came here.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's possible. They may have been caught in those reptilian wars, which that's what happened to the Lyran races. They lost their planet. I have a friend of mine who was Lyran, and she's had a flashback actually of the planet blowing up. So
okay. Yeah. And Heather's doing, Michelle Marie is doing a little bit of research. So
perfect.
Okay, so I'm going to take a sip because I have 25 starred comments to get through. We've already been on a half an hour.
I'm good for longer if you are, or if they want, whatever works.
Do any of the best chatters have an affinity for any particular star? I think Betsy was, again, best chatters getting people started in thinking about it, and they had listed some different things. And Betsy said, when I saw the Mataka description, I just burst into tears of relief. It was like a huge weight lifted off my shoulders.
That's how you know you were probably Mintakan.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah. When we have that kind of a reaction to something, it means that our body knows something that our brain doesn't, or our DNA knows something that our brain doesn't. So I would say that would definitely be one of your past lifetimes there, Betsy.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so, okay, got that. Okay, got that. Fogo Pogo. I mean, I've always loved the Orion constellation. I think it's particularly because it's so easy to pick out in the sky. It could be. I mean, yeah, because we all see it. We see the 3 stars. And if you know Thomas Tarot Your Way, he actually has the Orion's belt on his body after an interesting experience he had.
So I actually have the Big Dipper on my shoulder here.
Oh, wow. Okay. Dang.
And almost on my cheek.
Dang. This is crazy. Okay. All right. I'm at least a Palladian starseed, but I've been told you can be a combination of more than one.
Yes, because you can have multiple lifetimes in multiple planets. You can be more than one in that sense of the starseed. So the Pleiadian thing may be your monad with other starseed lives as well.
Yeah. Okay. And Jane had talked about having a past life regression floating in the universe. Didn't think to ask what universe and didn't want to leave.
Yeah.
Okay.
We like it a lot out there if we're starseeds because it's less dense. There's not the same kind of heaviness that there is being here. And most of those other races are high vibrational races, so they're more advanced. And so it's not the same. We don't have the density of the emotion and everything that we have here.
Sure.
So
sure. Yeah, all chatters now racing to mirror to check mole patterns. I think you're probably right. So, okay. And, okay.
Just because you don't have a mole pattern like that does not mean that you're not starseed. I do want to mention that.
There you go.
It just happens that I have that. But I am a galactic ambassador and apparently have done this in many lifetimes. I've had other lifetime memories of me standing in the Galactic Federation meeting hall at the top level with looking out over a star map. So I know that I've done this and I was not this. So it was a different lifetime. So I've done it in numerous lifetimes. So.
Okay, so I'm going to share with you that that's probably one of the ways we know each other because I was one who gave you the charts that you could put out.
Oh, perfect.
I was Thank you. Guy. You're welcome. Okay. Okay, I have a bruise on my thigh that looks like a barcode with dots. Is that any kind of common with starseeds?
I don't know about it being a bruise. I would say perhaps you've had an encounter in the astral. But I'm not sure about that. I mean, it sounds like there's something in the astral if it's barcode. Sure.
And Viviani is here. Hello, Viviani.
Hi, Viviani.
I'm staying with all of the lovely chat. So I told my sister about all this, and she said she actually remembered being a star under hypnosis many years ago.
Being a star or a star seed?
Okay, that's
it's all the same because the energy actually comes from the stars. So she could remember being a star.
Yeah. Oh, well, here, let's remind people. Here you go. Today's video is brought to you by the word starseed. Everyone say it with me. Starseed. Starseed. An individual whose soul actually originates from another star system or another planet. It would be awesome if all the starseeds liked, shared, and subscribed to our channels. Starseed. It was a blatant opportunity for me to have a beverage.
Perfect.
So, and Medium Betsy Palmer answered and said star.
Yeah. So we are all energy, right? And so our memories can go back to before we were a full being, right? And
Yes.
so it's quite possible she remembers what it was like to be part of a star.
Absolutely. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Hypnicity said, I feel that I am a way shower. How can I confirm this?
You are.
Oh, here. You are. You are Hypnicity. There you go. No question about it. I love that. I love it. And did you all notice that? It was like, oh, you are. Boom. So
that was easy. Yep.
Yeah, that was easy. You're right. It was. So
yeah.
And okay.
And I didn't think about it. It just came through. So that means that it was channeled. And so somebody's letting you know.
Even better. Okay. Got that. If you're told you work with them at night, is this hours or in minutes?
No time, there's no time nor space.
Yeah.
You work with them during your sleep time, but the time that you're out doesn't matter because they get you back in at whatever time you left or whatever, right? So
yeah. That's been my experience where sometimes I will wake up and I will be exhausted because I was so active overnight.
Yeah.
And then other times, and it's like been a 15-minute nap.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, you can get a lot accomplished in a 15-minute nap.
Especially if time and space do not matter.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, even if you look at the hybrid program. So the hybrid program is all about, and I suspect that I'm part of this. I've had some interesting, I'm still waiting for solid confirmation on this, but I had a reaction. I was talking to my naturopath about the hybrids, and a hybrid program is based on some of the genetic, I don't want to say mutation, combining of different races. And so the sort of the concept with that is that they pull out women from here, they make them pregnant, they have the child, and then they come back. And you can be out for what seems like years while this child is little, and then they send you back here, and it's the same night you left. Mm-hmm. So this is like an extended period of time, but they bring you back in the same moment in time. And so you don't even know that you've gone. So for me, I had what I thought was a miscarriage, that I actually had a very emotional experience when we started talking about the hybrid system, the hybrid program. Mm-hmm. And so for me, that was like, oh, so maybe this miscarriage wasn't a miscarriage, and that I do actually have a hybrid daughter out there. And she has been to see me a couple of times, and I thought it was just in spirit because I am a medium as well. And then when I saw her as I was sort of having this experience, she came in and she had like the large eyes, like they have in the movie Avatar. She looked like me, but younger. She would be about 25 now. But she had like the big blue eyes, like from Avatar.
Blue eyes. Wow. Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay. And Jane said, I'm positive now that I got that bruise in space. It's the strangest bruise. I get it. I get it.
Yeah. You likely had a little adventure.
Yeah.
Oh, and we've got Jennifer's stuff coming up here as well, I see, from Sharon for my holistic self. So Jennifer is one of the teachers that works for the Twillow Lifestyle Community, mm-hmm. Twillow Lifestyle Academy. She's also a psychologist, and she specializes she's an energy healer, light warrior like me, and mm-hmm. she is also energy
Yeah.
I said energy healer. It was something else I was thinking of. Oh, human design specialist.
Human
So
design. Yes, she was on my channel to talk about human design, and it was.
That's right.
Duncan is here. Shireman, good to see you.
Hey.
And Pia's Life asked Tanys, you may have said this, and I could have missed it, but how do you realize all of this and begin down the path?
So I was an adult when I realized. So my first instance, so this would be in the first thing that we did, but my first instance was I had a healing done, and I woke up during it, and there was a galactic being standing beside me, and then they started working with me. And check out the first video for more detail on that, because I go into the whole story. But yeah, and then I ended up each time, just along the way, they came in and gave me more and more information about it. So, and now I work with them regularly. I have numerous galactic guides that come and give me information depending on what I'm doing. The one that was actually doing the healing work on me is now the one that comes in and helps me with etheric surgery and stuff like that. So yeah, you just get to know them gradually. But it wasn't until I was probably early 40s.
Well, and the gentleman that you were speaking with recently on the other show, the Federation,
Kevin Briggs.
Yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. He was talking about, he had various experiences as a child, and he interacted differently, and they were like going, yeah, we can do that. And I think that's an important thing to remember is there's always free will. Yep. And actually, I think you get a lot more street cred when you ask them questions. And I've said this before, is if people don't like you asking questions, then they're not the right ones. So anyhow, that's, here. Yeah.
If you get resistance.
That's my soapbox.
Yeah. Yeah. If you get resistance, or you get something trying to force you to do something, those are not beings you want to be involved with. So, calling Archangel Michael back out of that.
Absolutely. Jane the Seeker said, I got a message in meditation that aliens are coming to help us with the pole shift, to help us with our technology.
Yep.
And I love it. Yep.
So I've been getting the feeling they're coming sooner than later. I was actually called into a meeting. So for the Galactic, or for the Alliance for Extraterrestrial Diplomatic Contact, they asked me to contact the Galactic Federation to ask them if we could get a physical one to come down. There's talk about that because they don't want to scare everybody. There's a lot of they don't want to cause mass panic, because what they want to do is decrease fear, not increase fear, because fear is the opposite of love. And really, we just need more love here. So there's a lot of talk going on within the Federation at the moment as to whether they should come down or not. Okay. I would say that the reason I say yes is because they're already helping us with so many things, and they have been all along.
Yeah.
Whether we're going to actually see them yet or not is what the discussion is about.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense, actually. So, okay. So got that, looking at the chat, doing that. Got that. If the majority of people are starseeds, then what's the percentage of people that aren't? And what does that mean? Cheyenne Shining asked.
That is a good question. So there are different there's different thought groups around that. So one is that it's like a smaller percentage, and the other one is that everyone has starseed energy. Not because energy is not created nor destroyed, right? And it just gets passed down. So it depends on the amount of energy that you're carrying that is starseed. But I think that if you talk about people with past lives on other planets, that's where it sort of cuts it down a little bit, because we do have a fairly large percentage. I don't know what the percentages are exactly, Cheyenne, so I can't really give you that. I'm not familiar with that, but there is a high percentage of what I would call new souls on the earth right now. And so new souls would not necessarily have had any other lifetimes on any other planets.
Sure.
And so that's why I shouldn't say at this time. I would say that it's that percentage is probably actually a little lower at this time, because we've got a lot of people here from other star systems that are here to help with the evolution of the planet. And so I would say that, sorry, just getting some. Yeah. So actually there's 20% more is what they're saying, of starseeds and the like on the planet, including your way showers. And so at this time, because of the evolution that we're going through, the ascension process that we're going through, because a lot of us are here to help with that ascension, whether it's consciously or not. Some of us are not conscious of it yet, and we are being called into service. And then they will start this wake up process. But even the ones that are not conscious, make no mistake, they are still helping to raise the vibe. Because if we are starseed beings, we tend to be higher end of the vibrational spectrum. And so one high vibration person can raise the vibration of 20,000 others just by being. So when you ask me if you're a way shower, you're on here, you are.
There you go.
So, I mean, they just told me, but that's the explanation for that.
Love that. Vanessa S. asked, what's the difference between indigo children and starseed?
Indigo children are a particular they came in at a particular time with a particular purpose. They are starseeds. They are a certain kind of starseed, but they have a specific mission, indigo children. And so that's the difference. They just have a different mission than the rest of us starseeds, kind of thing. Actually, I might be an indigo, but I'm not sure. I was right on the cusp. So.
And Maruta asks, if you're created with energy fresh from the source, you won't have other lifetimes. But look at if this is what Earthlings are starseeds to other planets. I was wondering about that.
Look at it this way: Earthlings are starseed to other planets. Yeah, they are for sure.
Yeah. So I'm just like going, if it's all, energy is never created nor destroyed, and it just is, and hybrids, and I actually wonder what they're saying about us.
So primarily, the thing that is different from there is that when we come into Earth, for the most part, we are the lower vibration, right? We're not as ascended, we're not as evolved as some of these other races. And so, yes, we could be starseeds, but we're not. I mean, we're probably more ascended than somewhere. So we might be starseeds to them. It depends on what you want to refer to as starseeds. But are we aliens to other people, or ETs, extraterrestrials to them? Yes. Starseeds have a certain sort of role that we play here, and it depends on what definition of starseed you're using. If you're talking about the wide starseed of, yes, you've had lives on other planets, then yes, we are starseeds to other people.
Yeah. Pia's Life asked a question: Does any of this have anything to do with our government finally admitting there is other life forms out there?
Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean. Does any of what have anything to do with our government?
I think the fact that we're talking about this and the starseeds and that, and that was a while back. So
so I can give you a little bit of an overview of what I know about that piece, if you like. So in terms of, because I'm sure you're referring to some of the stuff in the States.
Yes.
I'm from Canada, but you're talking about all the hearings and stuff. So my understanding is that you have a gentleman by the name of Stephen Greer, and he has had his own experiences and has been collecting research for over 20 years. The big thing with that was that people were not able to come forward because of the fact that they would get charged with stuff.
Right.
You passed, I believe, a whistleblower law in April or May this year that created the opportunity for people to come forward that have been part of these secret government programs without the fear of getting charged with something. And so my understanding is that since you did that, these other people were able to come and speak at these hearings without the fear. And so that is the primary reason why this is happening. I would definitely say that Stephen Greer has been in contact. I believe, I don't watch all of his stuff, but I have watched bits and pieces. So he is definitely working with them in some capacity, whether it's consciously or telepathically or physically. I don't know what his particulars are. I haven't actually seen like his original story of this, but I know that he has an awful lot of proof that this has been happening. And I think that it's important to acknowledge that, of course, this stuff is happening because we have influence from the galactic guides to push it forward now, right? So something prompted them to bring out the whistleblower legislation to start pushing that agenda. And I do feel that that's probably galactic based in terms of somebody whispered in somebody's ear, okay, you should do this. And it's snowballed, right? Because that's how they work. It's telepathic communication most of the time. And so, yeah. It's even worse, actually. So Pia's life, she says, so sad that somebody would get arrested for coming forward. Glad that's been changed. Yeah, actually, people have had their lives threatened numerous times. Stephen Greer included. It's been threatened many, many times for him because of what he's amassed in terms of information. And so, being arrested is, at least you're alive. But yes, it's not, none of the consequences should be there for speaking up, right?
Exactly.
You've got freedom of speech. At least that should be how it is. And so, I'm glad that they've passed that law for you guys as well.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of illegal stuff that's been happening. So if you watch Stephen Greer's stuff, you'll understand what I mean by that. It's more about that. The illegal stuff that's been happening that people have been forced to work with because of where they've ended up in government positions and stuff.
A while back, Fogo Pogo shared, I've had a Palladian spirit guide show up in human form. So to not scare me initially. I mean, that's cool. I love that. That's a huge gift.
We do have spirit guides that or galactic beings that are walking among us, because some of them are very humanoid. There was another woman that I was speaking to, and she was telling me a story how there was this man who was unusually tall, and she knew he was not of Earth.
Oh, okay.
But he was walking along in the market dressed like everybody else. The only difference was he was tall, and he knew stuff about her because they had this sort of weird, it was telepathic kind of communication and stuff.
Sure. Oh, yeah. So Nalani Hypnicity asked, what do I do with this knowledge?
What do you want to do with this knowledge? You can reach out to the guides, you can talk to them, you can process, you can look at more videos, what would you like to do with it? It is just knowledge. It's like finding out any other sort of, it's like finding out that the angels exist. It's like finding out that the ascended masters existed. It's like finding out, there's political stuff happening. So what do you want to do with this knowledge? That would be my question.
Yeah.
How do you see yourself being involved with it? Is it something that you're really drawn to? Is it, do you want to work with them more? Do you want to call them in? Yeah.
Okay.
And if you want, we can always do a consultation, and we can call them in and have a chat with them and see what they want, see what your role is, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I think awareness at some level, just having an awareness that, in this case, Nalani is a way shower. it's like, well, what does that mean? And now what?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a great question.
Mm-hmm.
So,
it is an awareness, because intention is everything.
yes.
Whatever we intend is what is. So having the awareness that we are starseeds, or having the awareness that we're a way shower, and that way showers show others the way, just means you're going to give people whatever information you have, for instance, around that.
Yeah. Pamela was mentioning earlier about, she had asked, I mean, are you saying you are a creationist? And that's sort of out of context right now, but there was some chat with she and Jane, and it's like, how do I hold my faith in source? And Pamela was just look around.
Yeah. So it's not, so for me, it's still all right. Right.
Yeah.
You're all of it is correct.
Mm-hmm.
Source is source. The ETs come from source, just as we do.
Yeah.
It's all from source. Source is all. We are all connected to source. We are all one.
Yeah.
These are just parts of the one that we're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. Cheyenne Shining asks, please address the people in the spiritual and tarot community vehemently opposed to the idea of starseed and the connection they make to World War II. Not the aliens, by the way. WW2.
I'm not familiar with the connection to the WW2.
I'm not either.
So I'm not sure I can speak to that.
Yeah.
And if people are
they can help fill in some of that.
Opposed, then I'm not here to change anybody's opinion.
Nope.
That's not my role.
Yeah.
So I give you what I know to be my truth, and you either like it or you don't. And that would be the same with them. I'm not going to argue with them if that's their perception, because our own perception is our reality.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know how to suggest that.
Yeah. We're all connected. It sounds like part of a Nazi thing. The branches and rays.
I don't know.
So I'm not sure. All right. Valerie asks, can you tell me what my star family is? Not really, because it's best to have a reading or look at something.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we're not that. We're just whetting everyone's appetite and looking at things. So,
and I'm sorry, Valerie, I could feel into it, but there's so many energies on today that I can't really feel into it. So
yeah. Allies, not aliens. They said this idea comes from Nazi propaganda. I was trying not to write the word Nazi. I understand. I get it. Okay, so that was back to that other idea.
Okay.
Yeah. There is some conspiracy theories about that. That this whole idea of starseeds is a conspiracy theory created by the Third Reich. So.
I think they may have been in contact with some of the ETs, if that means anything. But that's because all of the political arenas have had some contact, not because they're different from anybody else.
So, yeah. Tanys, any idea of how other people, other countries feel about starseeds, belief or non-belief?
That is a big question. And so I also want to make a distinction here, because we are there's some of us are talking about aliens or ETs, and some are talking about starseeds. And so there is crossover, but I just want to be, the political arena is not talking about starseeds.
No.
The political arena is all talking about the ETs. Okay. And so I just want to make sure that we're clear on that.
That's
and
very
so
good.
Your question, Pia, is like, any idea how other people or other countries feel about ETs is what I would assume. Starseeds is very much a personal belief thing. It has not made it into political thing. I would say that there is mixed. I would say there is, if we're talking ETs, there are more believers now because of people like Stephen Greer, because of the work that all of us are doing in terms of getting stuff out there in knowledge, and all of us having similar experiences and all of that stuff. And so I would say that the belief in we are not alone, that belief has grown considerably. But I just want to caution and be sure that we're talking about the same thing.
Yeah. Starseeds are different than aliens. So there's similarities, but
well, starseeds are from aliens. In a sense. But it is a different thing. Right? So
okay. Yeah. My goodness, we are at an hour. Can you believe that? That is crazy.
Went so fast.
It went very fast. So we've talked for a good hour and 2.5 hours between the two shows. You're creating beautiful videos about starseeds. And so I encourage everyone to go over and like and subscribe to your channel. I mean, just for the sense of it's information presented in a very clear and concise fashion. So, and if it doesn't resonate with you, then it doesn't resonate with you. I mean, that's part of what it's all about. So, and Jackie put up Dr. Stephen Greer's information. Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie. Yeah, that's important particularly for the American outlook of it all.
Yeah. And
The other thing to note is that I think there's one video on my YouTube. Bye, Pia. Thanks for coming. There's one particular video on my YouTube that I believe is a channeled message from Commander Ashtar Sheeran, who is the commander of the Galactic Federation in this area. So I do channel him on occasion, depending on what's going on. And so there is one there. I don't post them all because they're not all meant for public. They tell me whether it's meant for or not. Sure. The one that's up there was, but
yeah. And Medium Betsy Palmer said, "I'm so happy and excited to begin a journey with this path. Thank you, Gerald and Tanys." And
my pleasure.
You're welcome. This is good to have everybody here. Marella, Michelle Marie.
Hey.
So
love you guys.
Best chatters. So, so what do you have coming up on your channel, Tanys?
Well, in an hour and a half, I have Twillow Talk with Jen. So we do that every week. That will be on, and I do my weekly videos. So I always have weekly videos where I step in and give sort of a bit of an energetic update on where we're at in terms of collective energy. And I give a crystal of the week. So I have those on every week to help us along our journey. I believe this Friday coming, I have an open mic with Ramsey Cheedy.
Nice.
Who is was already subbed.
I was already subbed to Stephen Greer, she said. Jane.
Oh, subscribed. Gotcha. Yeah, good. He's great. If you're particularly interested in him, check out the there was something that came out on June 12th. It was a press release. It's long, but even watch the first hour. It's amazing. You'll understand sort of what I was talking about if you watch that. So we've got that coming up. So Ramsey and I will be on doing open mic on Friday. What else have we got going on? I have a crystal certification class coming up.
Nice.
At the Academy. That's soon. We're working on the whole schedule for September for the school. So stay tuned for that.
Nice.
And I'm sure I'm forgetting something, but
well, that's okay.
We also have we have a Know Thyself class, which is coming up in September. This is the taster.
Yes.
The taster class. Yeah, we moved it to September. so that more people could participate, because summer holidays was a thing. So check that out.
Love that. I love that. Well, thank you. I do so appreciate it. And I am going to be on Twillow Talk Live in a couple of weeks.
We're excited.
And then I'm actually going to be with Tanys and Michelle Marie that same week later. So it's
awesome.
It's great.
Yay.
So
we get to work together twice in 1 week.
I know, it's like crazy. So I've got the Mystic Four coming up tonight, where we're doing readings, and then I have Tuesdays with Tarot Stash exclusively on Jane the Secret Tarot tomorrow morning at 9:15 Eastern, and then I am reading with tomorrow is a busy day. I'm Tarot Stash, or Tuesdays with Tarot Stash. Then I'm doing readings with Medium Betsy Palmer and Jonathan Daly. And then Jamie and I are doing a back and forth on my channel where we're talking about our last 10. And then I am with Marina in the evening. So I'm having a great time.
Awesome. Jen's on, I see, as my holistic self. Hey, Jen.
There you are. Wait a minute. There you are. Yay. So, all right. So everyone, thank you very much. Any last minute words about Starseeds for people? No pressure, none whatsoever. I mean,
explore your starseed lineage. It's fascinating. The beings are beautiful. They bring a beautiful energy when they come. Talk to your starseed guides, your galactic guides. It's a beautiful synergy with them. So I really encourage you to do that.
It's a good idea. So everyone, thank you so very much for being here. And I will see you the next time. Bye.
Lots of love, everyone.